United Against Cancer.
United Against Cancer.
United Against Cancer.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again on this interview, this particular interest series of interviews with Oncodeli and myself. My name is Zainab Shinkafi-Bagudu. I'm a pediatrician and a global cancer advocate, a board member of the Union for International Cancer Control. Today, we're having a very interesting day because we're going to be speaking Spanish. And to speak Spanish, which I don't speak, I have with me my dear colleague and friend, Mr. Kenji López. Kenji is a colleague of mine on the UICC board and a very strong mover in the cancer advocacy field in Latin America, Mexico, his country. And he started his journey in cancer control after the loss. Kenji is a lawyer, by the way. So you might wonder, how did he get in there? For us, it's a very touching story after he lost his dear mother, and he has been pushing and trying to advocate for better laws and guidance for cancer in his country, Mexico, and like I said, the entire continent. After his mother's death in 2017, he started the Cancer Warriors of Mexico non-governmental organization, which has a major accomplishment of securing over $20 million annually through a labor bill, providing paid leave for over 10,000 parents candidates for cancer reform in the country, and led to significant funding increases for cancer programs. Looking ahead to 2024, he aims to push for a general cancer law to improve cancer care in Mexico. Like I said, today he's going to be telling us about his work. We're also going to be hearing from Marcela, another strong advocate who is the CEO of Fundación Edificando Vidas, which is also working out. So Kenji is going to do the translation. I will do the questions, and then so very interesting edition today. We have three guests. Kenji, you're welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself before we move to Marcela.
Yes, well, thank you very much, dear friend and colleague Zainab, and congratulations for this effort, putting together different perspectives from different countries and different regions, because we are, with no doubt, addressing the same disease, cancer, around the globe. Thank you very much for this invitation. Well, as you just mentioned, my name is Kenji López, and as you just mentioned also, I am a Mexican lawyer, and now I am the president of Cancer Warriors of Mexico Foundation, an NGO focused on the defense of cancer patients' rights. We are pushing different legislation, legal initiatives, and public policies in order to improve the addressing of this disease in our country, but also in Latin America. And well, more than happy to be here today. I'm going to say a little bit in Spanish for my colleagues, as you just asked me that. Marcela, gracias por estar aquí. Briseida y Alma, que próximamente se unirá a esta conversación. La doctora Zainab, tal como lo comentó, es una de las candidatas a la posición de presidenta electa para el periodo 2024-2026 de la UICC. Actualmente es una de nuestras colegas en el Board of Directors o la junta directiva de esta organización internacional. Y yo acabo de comentar un poco de mi perfil, de lo que hace nuestra organización Cancer Warriors de México y cómo es que a través de diferentes perspectivas. Ella con este programa está uniendo diferentes visiones, porque aunque estamos en diferentes países, estamos tratando de darle una mayor atención al cáncer, que es la misma enfermedad en todo el mundo.
Kenji, can you tell us, given the significant impact of cancer on the agenda movement, what strategies have you or are you planning to employ to sustain that momentum and drive the advocacy? You do a lot of work. There's so much energy, and you're getting into politics and getting the cancer out there on the political agenda. Tell us about that and your efforts, you can answer in Spanish because
Claro, yes, of course. Bueno, esto es muy importante hablar del cáncer en la agenda porque nosotros sabemos que para generar cambios significativos en el control del cáncer es importante tener a los tomadores y tomadoras de decisiones dentro del campo de acción. Entonces, el impulsar el movimiento del cáncer en la agenda cobra suma importancia porque los cambios no pueden generarse solo desde las fundaciones o a través de la voz de las fundaciones. Para generar un impacto, particularmente en materia de legislación, políticas públicas y, por supuesto, en materia de presupuesto. Sabemos que si no se cuenta con el presupuesto público necesario, es imposible dar una mejor atención para las y los pacientes diagnosticados con cáncer.
So I'll move to Marcela now. Marcella Carrillo is a cancer survivor and the executive director of the Loving Cancer Patients Foundation in El Salvador. She is a certified patient navigator. Her organization focuses on cancer prevention, educating the public on the early detection and symptoms, and teaching cancer patients to recognize relapse signs and practical personal pharmacovigilance. That is so important. The foundation is also working on developing a protection act for cancer patients to ensure their right to life, treatment, and dignity. Thank you very much, Marcela, for joining us today. Marcella, sorry. And Kenji is going to ask the question, and our question is, given your organization's emphasis on early detection and prevention, do you use technology at all to reach a wider platform and engage a wider audience? So I think a better way of asking that question is, as a patient navigator, as somebody with lived experience, who is a lived experience of cancer, how does she find the impact of technology, if at all she uses that? Such a bad question.
Okay, I got it. Marcela, nos pregunta la doctora Zainab que, dada tu experiencia y el enfoque que tiene Edificando Vidas en la detección oportuna y la prevención, ¿qué papel crees que juega la tecnología en este proceso para lograr una detección oportuna o una prevención del cáncer de manera general?
En primer lugar, quiero agradecer, doctora, el privilegio de poder estar con usted en esta reunión y a ti, Kenji, por el liderazgo de verdad con el que has trabajado estos años la región de América Latina, y agradecer este espacio para poder mandar ese mensaje tan importante y tan efectivo hacia las personas que nos siguen. Nuestra fundación nace hace 16 años con mi experiencia personal con la enfermedad. Debuté con cáncer de ovarios y en el 2021, post-COVID, tuve cáncer de mama. En este tiempo hemos identificado grandes necesidades, grandes vacíos en las leyes, y es ahí a donde incursionamos en el uso de la tecnología para poder accesar a las personas que no tienen acceso a medicamento, que no tienen acceso a diagnóstico temprano, que no tienen acceso a demandas judiciales, que no tienen acceso a educación. Considero que las tecnologías han venido a facilitarnos a nosotros como fundación el acceso y el encontrar a estas personas para poderlas traer y acercar la salud. hemos podido educar a través de redes sociales, hemos podido tener acompañamiento y navegación de pacientes a través de grupos de WhatsApp, de grupos en Zoom, que podemos ver de verdad cómo las estadísticas en diagnósticos tardíos han bajado. Cada vez viven más por el diagnóstico temprano.
Marcela is saying that the use of groups of chats, of WhatsApp, the use of new technology, it's quite important to share information with patients and with people. Early detection, but she's also a survivor.
Yes. Yes,
And
yes.
you know that. So the feeling of Marcela, it's quite important because she knows about early detection and she knows about the importance of the early diagnosis in cancer. So through her organization, she's trying to use tools and technology in order to spread the message and in order to spread the information about the importance of having screenings for men and women, for both groups of population. Some actions, you know, what she just mentioned.
I found thank you, Kenji, for that. Very interesting in her profile where it talks about the developing a protection act for cancer patients and their rights to life, treatment, and dignity. You know, how does that, what does that mean and what exactly are they doing?
Okay. Está preguntando la doctora sobre esta ley para la dignidad y la protección de los derechos que ustedes han promovido en su país, Marcela. Si nos puedes hablar un poco al respecto. En partes, porque sí me pide la traducción, entonces mejor sí en partes más cortas.
En El Salvador tenemos dos leyes que protegen al paciente. Una es la ley de protección del paciente en general, ¿verdad? Cualquier tipo de paciente. Y la segunda, la ley de cáncer. En ambas iniciativas hemos trabajado nosotros proponiendo y proveyendo recursos, estadísticas, acceso a información sobre las necesidades que nuestros pacientes requieren. En el tema de la ley de protección al paciente, trabajamos en, por ejemplo, el acceso a que son cuidadoras de pacientes terminales, por ejemplo. Ese es un ejemplo. Y luego en la ley de cáncer pudimos promover muchas cosas, por ejemplo, el acceso universal a diagnóstico temprano, acceso a imágenes, por ejemplo, el acceso universal a la vacuna contra el VPH, el acceso universal al tratamiento con demostrada calidad, seguridad y eficacia.
She's mentioned that at El Salvador, at her country, they already have both laws, both acts. One focus on the protection of the patient in general, for type of disease. Organizations, they promote that, for example, they propose the incorporation of leaves for the caregivers, which, you know, it is a concept complicated in the globe, you know, like the rights of the people that are taking care of the patient of any type of disease. And on the other side, talking about the cancer or the General Cancer Act, she's mentioned that they promote the universal importance of early diagnosis. She's not mentioned right now how is implementing. I probably could ask, or you can ask something about that. Yes. Marcela, ¿nos puedes comentar cómo o si verdaderamente se están implementando tanto la ley para la protección del paciente como la ley del cáncer o si tienen barreras en la implementación de las leyes?
Ok, en cuanto a la ley de protección al paciente, ha habido más permeabilidad, la gente entiende más. Las organizaciones de la sociedad civil como la nuestra se ha dedicado a imprimir folletos para entregar físicamente los artículos de la ley que protegen sus derechos. También en nuestra página web ustedes podrán encontrar un apartado para denuncias. Entonces, la agenda de la ley de protección al paciente se cumple porque hay denuncias a la Comisión de Derechos Humanos y esto se hace a través de un formulario de nuestra página. En cuanto a la ley de cáncer, consideramos que la ley no está funcionando porque es una ley que está actualmente desfinanciada y tampoco hay condiciones para que, por ejemplo, por mala praxis, los médicos sean, digamos, condicionados a continuar con su práctica médica.
Okay, well, she's mentioning that talking about the General Cancer Act, of course, they are facing different barriers, but the main barrier is the financial barrier because they need economic resources in order to implement countries. I mean, they already have different laws, but they are lack of financial resources in order to implement the laws. That's the main barrier they are facing, and they are also facing the lack of the problem related to the bad practice or praxis from the doctors, which is a specific problem in her country, and she will talk about that later.
Okay.
If you want to make another question, Zainab.
No, does she want to? Yes, I have one more question for her, and the question is about, well, I think she has talked about it, involved in cancer patient rights. What is the most critical challenge facing cancer patients in terms of access to treatments? And
Okay.
how can help policymakers and health providers help to address it? So the most critical challenge, and then what she expects the politicians as well as the doctors, the healthcare providers to do better. So maybe she can talk about the problems with the doctors there.
Good question.
Yeah.
Nos pregunta Zainab sobre el acceso al tratamiento, particularmente, Marcela. ¿Qué nos podrías decir sobre esto? Y si los tomadores de decisiones, los políticos se involucran en que haya un mejor acceso a los tratamientos, y cuál es la participación de los médicos al respecto, porque existe de repente, ¿no?, la posibilidad de que el médico también tenga esta barrera, ¿no?, que él quiera proveer de mayor acceso, pero tenga la barrera. Si nos puedes hablar al respecto.
Bueno, hemos mejorado, hemos avanzado mucho con las nuevas políticas de salud. Sin embargo, todavía los medicamentos de alto costo no son accesibles para todos. Deberíamos de tener un acceso universal. Opciones de tratamiento para salvar vidas y nosotros no tenemos acceso a esto por el alto costo del medicamento, a pesar de que como región centroamericana tenemos una alianza de ministros de salud para comprar medicamentos de alto costo a bajo precio, ¿verdad? Eso por un lado. Por otro,
si quieres, hago la traducción.
Okay.
They are facing this big problem regarding treatment access with the better therapies. You know, we know that
targeted therapy.
Yes, we know that they are around the globe in high-income countries, better therapies that could provide with a better opportunity for our patients. They don't have this universal coverage or universal access for this, even though or in despite of that El Salvador is part of this alliance from health ministries of different countries from our region, which one of the main objectives is to have access for all regarding specifically of better therapies, or like precision medicine, for example, which
Yes.
can of more cost, yes, for countries like us. So this is one of the barriers they are facing in El Salvador. Si quieres continuar, if you want to continue, Marcela.
Sí, solo agregar algo más, y es que hemos tenido cambios significativos actualizado toda la maquinaria de TACS, resonancia magnética y radiocirugía. Eso nos permite a nosotros vivir mejor, porque el diagnóstico se hace más temprano y el seguimiento.
Perfect. I think this is quite important, Zainab.
Yeah. Okay.
Marcela is just sharing that at El Salvador, they have the new one, PET scan, so they are improving in infrastructure. So she's mentioning that one step at a time, that probably one machine, then another one, but this new infrastructure allowed them to have a follow-up on the screening that population is having now that they have new infrastructure.
Oh, that's well done. Congratulations. Well done.
Felicidades, Marcela, por esto. Es una muy buena noticia.
Yeah, because we often forget about the wins, and we focus so much on the barriers, but there are also slow progress. And we have one PET scan on and off in a country the size of Nigeria. So it's before they have to go abroad to India and every place. But now at least there's one that is working. So congratulations. So thank you, Marcela. It's you're as an advocate, I understand and I feel you. And then to be a patient advocate, it means you have more increased passion. It means you are more interested in what is going on. And I wish you the best. Is she coming to Geneva? No?
I'm going to ask her. Zainab está felicitando a Marcela por toda esta gran labor que es de reconocerse la pasión, la convicción con la que trabajas y el hecho de ser o haber sido paciente, sobreviviente, haber pasado por todo este camino, este trayecto en la lucha contra el cáncer, te hace mucho más sensible, una mujer mucho más aguerrida, pero al mismo tiempo consciente de las realidades. Me está preguntando Zainab si irás a Ginebra al Congreso Mundial, le encantaría verte allá.
Tristemente, nuestras organizaciones en Centroamérica sufren de recursos económicos limitados y eso no nos permite hacer un viaje tan largo y tan costoso. Sin embargo, mi corazón estará en Ginebra, moría por ir, sin embargo, no logramos el patrocinio necesario, pero de verdad, mi corazón estará allá contigo, Kenji. Sé que harás un excelente papel y nos vas a defender.
Voy a traducir eso.
Okay.
Sadly, unfortunately, she's not attending the World Cancer Congress due to the economic resources.
Economic difficulties.
Her heart
will be with us.
Right there with us, the World Cancer Congress.
She should watch it online. She should attend online.
Puedes aprender algunas cosas en línea, querida Marcela.
Por supuesto, claro que sí.
Yeah. Thank you.
She will.
Yes, thank you. My last two questions are for you, Kenji. I don't think we're going to have Marcela, but we will try and see if she will come. So the first question I have for you is the Cancer Warriors of Mexico. You do a lot of work with different organizations. We see the work that you do. We see your advocacy, creating awareness. We see you at high-level meetings. I want to hear about how you collaborate with healthcare providers, with governmental agencies, and all the stakeholders, and how you make sure that the change that you're trying to reach, through your programs is achieved. So let's talk about collaborations and partnerships in your foundation in Mexico.
Yeah, that's a good question. In Spanish, right?
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Briseida, you are
Briseida,
here.
so.
Querida amiga.
Ay, ya llegué a la casa, vengo entrando, qué
I'm
pena.
going to do a photo
She's
here.
just arriving at her home. Well, I'm going to answer that question. Voy a contestar esa pregunta. Es una pregunta muy interesante, Zainab, porque como organizaciones necesitamos participar y trabajar de manera colaborativa con los gobiernos, con los tomadores de decisiones. Nosotros tenemos una ventaja que conocemos la problemática directa de las y los pacientes. En muchas ocasiones, y Marcela y Briseida estarán tal vez de acuerdo conmigo, que en muchas ocasiones hay mucha más confianza por parte de los pacientes con una fundación que con el gobierno. Entonces, esto genera pues mayor responsabilidad de nuestra parte porque somos un canal de comunicación, somos una voz para las y los pacientes. Y Zainab me pregunta cómo hacer para que nuestros programas tengan buen curso, tengan buenos resultados cuando el gobierno forma parte o tiene que formar parte de los programas. Yo diría mantenernos siempre neutrales, no formar parte de un lado o de otro políticamente hablando. Quien llega, quien se va, quien va a llegar, para nosotros tiene la misma posición, es el gobierno, sin tomar partido de alguna ideología y mantenernos neutros. Eso hace que se nos siga invitando a colaborar, se nos vea como organizaciones fidedignas, con alta credibilidad y principalmente con resultados. Cuando tenemos resultados de esta causa, por supuesto que se nos sigue invitando y se cree en el trabajo colaborativo de las fundaciones. I think that was my answer question, Zainab. I don't know if you want, now that we have here Briseida, to take advantage of that.
Oh, yes. I'll ask you your last question, and then we'll come to Briseida and finish with her, and then we'll do a roundup for everybody. So the next question for you, Kenji, and your final question is regarding your primary occupation as a lawyer, legal practitioner. Have I ever told you both my parents are lawyers? Yeah, both of them, with the ambitious goal of a general cancer law in 2024. What are the challenges that you have been facing, and how are you poised to overcome them? You're trying to get some legislature and cancer bills to be passed so that cancer care is, more legal and mandatory for the government and any government. Tell us the challenges and how you've been working to overcome that.
Are many challenges, but I'm going to answer this in Spanish. Zainab está preguntándome sobre el proyecto de ley general de cáncer que estamos impulsando en México. Como abogado, as a lawyer, I believe in the use of law. Yo creo en el uso de la legislación, como todas aquí en la región de América Latina, y me pregunta cuáles son los principales desafíos que tenemos para lograr concretar una ley general de cáncer. El primero, yo diría que es la voluntad política. Si no tenemos una voluntad política, difícilmente contaremos con legislación que proteja los derechos de los pacientes y que aumente la posibilidad de tener mejores terapias y mejor acceso, no solamente para quienes ya son pacientes, sino en materia de diagnóstico temprano y prevención. Ahora mismo el reto principal es que hemos cambiado de gobierno en nuestro país. Tuvimos elecciones recientemente y nuestra primera mujer, la presidenta electa, tomará protesta el 1 de octubre y hemos renovado completamente el Congreso mexicano, que son 500 posiciones en la Cámara de Diputados y 128 posiciones en el Senado de la República. El reto principal es hacerles ver que una legislación enfocada a la atención del cáncer daría mucha más certeza jurídica para poder garantizar el acceso a los tratamientos. Yo sé que muchas de las leyes carecen de efectividad o de correcta implementación por falta de recursos públicos. Entonces, lo que buscamos es que se dote de recursos públicos para implementar de manera correcta esta ley, y el reto principal es que no tenga en el Congreso y que la adopte también la presidenta de nuestro país en su momento a partir de que tome protesta al cargo. I think that was my answer, Zainab. I think that's it. A great question.
Yeah, I want to hear a bit of that.
You want the translation in English? Okay, well, we are facing many challenges because we will have a new government, because we just had Mexican Congress. We have 500 positions at the House of Representatives and 128 positions at the Mexican Senate. So the main challenge is put the initiative at the center and let them know that it is an initiative of all of us. It is not from one political party or another. That's the main challenge. You know, addressing cancer or the fight against cancer, it is not a political battle. It is a humanitarian battle that needs all of us. So that's the main challenge we have right now. And the second challenge is put economic resources to implement the legislation, because as you know, sign up, and it is happening in different countries. You can have the act, you can have the bill, the law, but if you don't have the public resources to implement that, it is just like one sheet of paper, you know. So that's the second the second barrier or challenge we have. And the third one is time, because now we have different topics on the agenda as the new president will have the position on the 1st October. So it's the first woman, and this is a great news in our country. But her agenda is cancer agenda, as well as a priority with other topics, you know, on the table.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge we have.
Yeah. So, well done, Kenji. I just say, don't be discouraged. It sounds, I hear you and I feel you and I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had a political platform where my husband was the governor of a state and we were doing so many laudable things in cancer control. We were able to get even some things into the law. However, a new government comes and it's not the same speed or even the same passion at which we were doing it. And many of the programs are even dropped. So it's sad. And this is what happens. But you have to keep going. You have the energy, you have the interest, and it's the cause. The most important thing in what we do is that it's not about me or you or Marcela or Briseda. It's about the cancer patients, those living with cancer, and it's about the disease. So we
que no debemos de rendirnos. O sea, políticamente es complicado. Ella viene también de conocer de estas situaciones. Su esposo fue gobernador allá en Nigeria. Ella tiene mucho contacto con tomadores de decisiones, y lo más importante es que pongamos el cáncer en la agenda, que esto no se trata, lo dijo, no se trata de Marcela, de Kenji, de Briseida, de Zainab, no se trata de la enfermedad en el centro, y eso debe ser una de nuestras grandes motivaciones para no rendirnos.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Onco Daily on YouTube. Hit the bell icon to stay updated.